guys, welcome for day 4 on emotions. I can tell you that there is a few emotions that are showing up for me here. I can't believe that I pushed myself to do these days on video, but you know what? I'm getting more comfortable, which is fun. And this is a huge passion of mine, is to help uplift and encourage those out there that are feeling stuck behind obstacles and imaginary walls, because fear really is only false evidence appearing real. We are all at a pretty equal playing field, and it's good to know that. So when I got on here, the emotions that were showing up for me was nervous, a little excited, a little bit of anxiety, confusion, and you know, all those turbulences show up for me. But then here I press play and I'm like, no, you're on. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And so, you know, I pushed through those emotions. That was a choice action to do. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you to push through those limiting emotions that we think are paralyzing, but they're actually not, because we all can do it. And I'm not saying everybody wants to get on, you know, and do like a video on Facebook or YouTube here. What I am saying though is you can push yourself through almost any wall if you just do it, right? A lot of emotions too, there's a few ways that we can overcome them. And these are just the tidbits of a small personal develop week here that I have. And I'm trying to keep them in the short little spurts here. But one is to write down and get clear about what it is, the direction that you're going in your life. That will limit the emotions that can go out of control within that time frame. It keeps a focus for you. When you keep focus, it's quite a lot easier for you to navigate when raw emotions come up that are unnecessary, or they're not going to help your progress here. So very important, write it down. Second thing is be curious about yourself. A lot of your emotions are showing up for a reason. If they're showing up, it could be because they're being triggered from something that's happened in the past. In order for us to be at full acceptance of ourselves today, here and now, is to be in acceptance of the past. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be taking it into our future, because like we said, we can plan our future. We're co-creating our future together, but in order to do so, we have to get clear on who we were, who that's made us become today, and if we want a different outcome, we need to know what area needed to change there. And so the triggers that show up for some of our emotions, anger, jealousy, rage, those really raw ones that can show up, they could very well have come, and even sadness too, could very well have come from an incident that happened in your past that made you feel like X, Y, and Z, and therefore now you're in a protective mode to not experience that again. That is a very, very awesome part of our brain for doing that, because it does protect us from a lot of things, but it also hinders us. So identifying why the emotion is showing up will help you to gain control and power over it. So those are just a couple of things there. And the third thing here, when you're experiencing your emotions and being able to utilize them moving forward, is this emotion serving me? If I'm in road rage, full-on road rage in the middle of the highway, is it serving me to be in that space? Because usually what happens after that road rage is now we've just attracted a ton of negative experiences that are spiraling afterwards, because our eyes are looking that way. How do you click out of that? Well, we have to distract ourselves. The power of switching gears. Again, back to the input, changing the radio station to something a little softer, making, you know, some other thought be a primary at that time. Being grateful is a huge way of regulating our emotions. Huge, 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 huge. Finding gratitude in all of our obstacles is incredibly empowering. Highly, highly recommend that as a daily journaling session. Putting it down, looking over all of these wonderful things that came out of these trying times for us. Because just remember, everything that we do, there's a great something that can come out of it. It's very hard to see while we're doing it. The final piece that I want to give you today for regulating your emotions is regulate your time. If you can put, the more things that you can put into a habit in a day, and it becomes easier, it puts a lot less stress on us. And that way then the stress emotion doesn't seem to press into us so much that can cause us to be irritable, short with people, yada, yada, and not open to receiving the beauty that actually can continue to come through. But creating a plan and executing it goes back to focus. What are we focusing on? What's your big picture? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Because you can do anything you want, anything. The world is your oyster. I don't care if you're 1 to 99, you still have so many doors to open. Okay, you're right. If you're a 99, it does limit your mobility. That's probably true. And you know, there is some things that maybe we're not quite, but anything that you want to do, the things that you really truly desire, you can make happen. I believe that the obstacles are just beyond the other side of that paralyzing emotion. So to rise above, I hope that this helped. It's just a little tidbit. I feel like it was a little bit all over the map, but there's just so much around emotions that I would love to share, and really just to gain control over the emotion instead of the emotion taking control over you is where you want to be. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about finances tomorrow. Basic budgeting. If there's anybody that you know that wants to follow along, grab some paper and pen, make sure that you are able to like write some notes down and just grab some power over it. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Take care.